Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fish Tank. I'm Bad as Fish Eddie, and today we're going to be looking at the Invoke keyword for Minion Masters. This is one of the newest keywords added to the game. It was added in the Torment expansion, and there's a few cards that have it, and judging from my conversations with some people, there is a little bit of confusion about how it works. So today we're going to have a look at how it works, and have a look at some quick examples. Okay, so there are three cards as of patch 1.43 that have the Invoke keyword. Now we've got Combustion, we've got Netherstep, and we've got Korgoth. But what does Invoke do? If we have a look at one of these and have a look at the keyword, we can see Invoke replaces a Voidborn card in your hand with a random Voidborn card that costs one mana more until played, but it keeps its current cost. Okay, a little bit confusing, but what does that mean? Okay, so if you've got a 4 mana Voidborn card in your hand and you trigger the Invoke on it, it becomes a random 5 mana Voidborn card, but it still only costs 4 mana. So, for example, your Fire Imp has become a Succubus, but it only costs 4 mana. And you can invoke a card multiple times. So your 4 mana card becomes something that's worth 5 mana, and then invokes again something that's worth 6 mana, but it still only costs you 4 mana. Now, the way that the invoke is triggered from different cards will vary. So, for example, here on the Combustion, if you kill a minion with Combustion, invoke a Voidborn card in your hand. With Netherstep, when you use it, it immediately invokes a random Voidborn card in your hand. And of course, if you don't have any Voidborn cards in your hand, then the Invoke does nothing. And Korgoth, he has a more interesting interaction with regards to the Invoke. So he starts with the Seal in your hand, which is a spell that invokes your entire hand. So if they're all Voidborn cards, they'll all get invoked. You use that a couple of times, and then he is available to be spawned. And if he gets a kill with his attack, again, he will invoke. So that's all about just chaining the invokes and getting a lot of value. So that's the Invoke in principle. Let's just have a look at a couple of examples in some gameplay, and hopefully it'll all make sense. Okay, so here we just have a quick test match that I did against a bot. So we can have a look at how the Invoke works. So as you can see, we've got the Seal of Korgoth here. Now, this is how, as we mentioned before, how Korgoth starts. So this seal is going to invoke our entire hand. So if we have a look at the state of our hand currently, we've got some Netherbats, 2 mana. We've got Firebolt, 5 mana. And we've got an Elite Swarmer, 2 mana. So let's see what happens when we use it. Okay, so now if we look at our hand, we've still got a 2 mana card, a 5 mana card, and another 2 mana card, but they've been replaced by things that are more valuable. So we can see with the little Korgoth icon at the top there, we can see that it's got 1 invoke on it. So we've got a Brutish Betrayer. This is a 3 mana card, but it's only going to cost us 2 mana. Here we've got a 6 mana card in Magma Storm, but it's only going to cost us 5 mana. And here we have a Reboomer. Again, it's a 3 mana card, but it's only going to cost us 2 because of the reduction from the Invoke. Okay, so here we see another example. So we've still got the Brutish Betrayer in our hand, reduced by 1 from the Invoke, so that's a 2 cost. And we've also got the Magma Storm still there, again reduced. And we've got a couple of non-reduced cards. Now, what we're going to see here is we're going to use the Netherstep on the Assassin, which is going to invoke one of the cards in our hand. Boom. And what happened? Well, it invoked the Brutish Betrayer that was already invoked, but it invoked it to the next level. So it started as a 2 mana card. It became a 3 mana card, but still for 2 mana. And now it's been invoked a second time. So it's still 2 mana, but it's worth 4 mana. So this is just an example of how the invokes can stack, and you could end up getting some very powerful units very cheap if that's how you're trying to play it. Now, one thing you need to bear in mind is the Invoke doesn't play very well, doesn't play very nicely with the other ways of reducing. So like the Doom Cleaver cost reductions, they'll get lost if they're on a card that then gets invoked. And the same, I think, with the Voidborn Wound. It's a little complicated if you play those different mechanics all together. But yeah, so that's how the Invoke works. It's available on a few cards, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how you trigger it and how it can be utilized. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. And of course, let me know what the next mechanic, keyword, whatever thing you would like from Minion Masters to be explained. Let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to bring you an explanation. This is Bad as Fish, signing out. Like, comment, and subscribe.